Hello there. We
General
are reaching out
Kenobi.
following a form where you indicated interest in the following role.
Server Watchdog.
We would love to offer you $4 per hour spent watching over the following server.
This screenshot is the banner image for a channel named Cashing Checks, but according to the player, Cash, he never filled out a form and has no idea how these people got his email. But
Money's
out
money,
of curiosity, Cash decides to log on and check out this server. Cash loads in for his first night shift and is met with some signs welcoming him to the Outlook SMP. Now, the text on the signs seems to be a bit messed up, perhaps from like the server being upgraded from an older version. However, nothing else seems to be all too messed up. At least that is until...
Oh, holy missing textures.
All right, I see exactly why this server needs some admin. It has been griefed to high hell. You would
do we
think,
look like we're in
though,
the
that if Cash is supposed to
Borderlands?
admin for the server, he should probably have creative mode, maybe some operator perms, but
Yeah, that'd be
instead,
nice.
He seems to be forcibly stuck in survival mode. But this doesn't really matter because no one appears to be online, and Cash is pretty much free to explore wherever he wants. As he explores this main area, he comes across a main conversation board of sorts. To the best I can read it, it says Goal 1, gather materials,
Build.
equipment, etc. Goal 2, build main base.
Okay.
Goal 3, enjoy it all until he comes back. Of
Oh,
they're not gonna
how
tell us
ominous.
who he is, but beneath that it says, how long do we have, would you say? And then in very faint text, we see 2 weeks, maybe. So from this, we can assume that someone is coming back soon, and that seems to be a bad
Not a
thing.
good thing.
But best case, it's nothing. Worst case, we
How
could
the
look
hell-
at some sort of like stalker who keeps finding their way onto these people's Minecraft server. Cash certainly treats it like it's not important because he moves swiftly along to just raiding these bases for items, but all of the items available to him are A, glitched, and B, pretty much useless. Cash
Yeah,
speaks
they
to
don't
us
look
for the
great.
first time and says, quote, they told me not to interfere with the world, but it seems like people already did. Well, this is
Yeah.
helpful because it's clear Cash has had further correspondence with this watchdog thing. But the kicker here is
guess
Cash
so.
tells us that he doesn't even have a texture pack on right now and even shows us. So the fact that he's seeing these textures and these items being the way they are is very, very weird. Cash informs us that the watchdog people told him that the daylight cycle is tied to real life, meaning that wherever these players are, it's nighttime for them. And Cash says it's nighttime for him as well, so they might even be in the same time zone. Eventually, though, Cash just decides to pillar up in the center of town and crank up his render distance to like watch over the area. Unfortunately, the second he does that, his PC starts to have an absolute crisis. Come on, Cash, showing up unprepared for the job? You didn't buy a fancy PC when you got
Yeah,
hired?
man.
Come on.
That $4 an
Cash,
hour.
I'd love to canonically recommend you an Ironside PC. I recently received a PC from them, and not only can it gorgeously
Nah, this is the first time I've ever seen an ad in a fucking
Ironside has a
ARG.
variety
That's
of
kind of
PC
crazy.
builds, and I chose to get their newest Terminal 1 design, which was quite the step up both mechanically and visually. The Ironside team has
very
been genuinely
compact.
one of the most hands-on and friendly companies I've talked to, and gave updates on how my PC build was doing.
Ooh, my PC's
every
kind of
step
dusty. I should
of the
probably
way.
dust that
And
thing.
sure, we got Cash over here who's only getting paid a modest $4 an hour watching over this server, but hey, that's no excuse because I'm doing a free PC giveaway with Ironside where you can click on the link below to have a chance to receive an entirely free PC. The PC is valued at $2,400. It has a Ryzen 7 7800X processor and is almost identical to the one I got, so I can personally vouch that this thing is amazing. The giveaway
Well,
will go
you know,
on for 2
link
months
in description
after this video has been
for his
posted.
original video, so if
Shipping
you
will
want
be
to do that, I
covered
guess.
worldwide. Ironside won't even ask you for like any form of payment if you win, so truly, there's no reason not to go check it out in the link below. For now though, Cash just turns down his render distance and watches over the server for a bit until he hears
Ew. Elephant with asthma? I mean, I know it's a goat horn, but like, oh, what the username?
Locked out. Thank you for your time.
Are there like
Right,
multiple
let's talk
people
about
watching
this,
over
I
the
guess.
server?
That was a goat horn that is in the vanilla game. However, that's not something that can simply be done or played without a player blowing into the horn. And as we can see, no one is online right after that noise is played until we see a player join with just the username. Potentially, if Cash had been holding down tab when they did join, we might have been able to see like a player skin, but even that seems unknown. And I don't like unknowns. So let's start getting some knowns in here. Cash is back for another night shift, but this time when he logs on, that pillar he was on has been removed. So he just
There he goes.
But once he respawns, he finds that his stuff is gone and a message is sent into the chat.
Oh,
Please do not intrude into the server/movement blocks or items.
To which Cash responds, "Dude, you like got him. That was so good." Cash
okay, buddy. Yo, mama.
does indeed try to tread a bit more lightly, and he heads back to the house with the enchantment table again. Cash starts looking through stuff, and by looking through stuff, I mean looking through stuff.
He
He's
is
going through
ransacking
chests,
everything.
through the bookshelves, and
Ooh, oh.
a literal
I made one of those
passageway in
recently.
a bookshelf. Come on, it doesn't get much better than that. So Cash makes his way down, and
Oh God,
sees
don't go left.
tunnels, seemingly man-made tunnels. Cash walks around through them and eventually
Good
finds
job.
another ladder
Oh,
that
never
leads him up into a different one of the houses. So these tunnels essentially just connect each house together. It's finally at this
cool.
point that Cash realizes the book he grabbed is a book and quill, and he reads, "Don't listen to whatever he told you. It's probably lies. And if you are him, you." All right.
Oh, damn, okay. Sheesh, all right.
Him. But clearly, whatever this book is talking about is something that went down on this server. And what that is remains to be seen. But eventually, Cash makes his way over to this
gonna
sign
go for
board
that nether
again,
portal?
and this time, all the signs seem to be gone.
Oh.
This confirms at least that someone has been on this world since he was last logged on. And I believe Cash realizes that too, because he decides to write a sign of his own. And he says, "Hello? Can anyone see this?" Well, based off of that dark oak, no, I cannot.
yeah, definitely not.
Jesus. He grabs some yellow dye so
This
it's
guy's so
actually
unserious.
legible, and then continues exploring. He finds another secret way into the tunnels, and then eventually he just freezes and goes AFK for a while. When he
Wow.
does come back eventually, he says, quote, "Sorry, I think there was a deer outside or something."
A deer?
He
You
then
sure it
decides
wasn't
he
a
wants to check out the
Wendigo
Nether,
or whatever
and he
those
gets a
things are
lock
called?
so that he can get in there, and of course he gets disconnected. You can call it a coincidence. I'm gonna call it tactical nerfing. Now, this whole mention of seeing something in real life, I'm personally going to chalk up to paranoia for now. I mean, you're doing a night shift. This is the second
Ew.
night that Cash has presumably stayed up late, and probably you're going to be pretty paranoid the entire time. So with that being said, let's move to this third shift where some stuff goes down. We log back on and we are immediately met with another message from the Watchdog protocol saying,
Please stop modifying the server. Your game mode has been updated.
and
The sign got updated, I
unfortunately,
think.
it's correct.
There's some
Cash
red
is no
on it,
longer in survival.
wasn't it?
He's in adventure mode now, which means he can't place or break blocks.
Yeah, there's some
which
red on it.
sucks because
Barely
he
see it.
has received a response. It says, "Yes, but who are you?" And Cash can't edit these signs anymore, so we don't know
That's rough,
how
buddy.
Cash is going to be able to respond to, "Oh, yeah, that's smart. He can use the book." Cash writes into the book, "Hi, still me. My name is Cash. I was hired to watch over this server. Who are you?" But Cash needs somewhere to put this
Is he
book.
gonna just
and
drop it,
very
or-
smartly, he goes over to that bookshelf, assuming that if anyone else tries to use the secret passageway, they'll get the book and maybe see the message.
That
But
makes
we
sense.
have to wait until...
Oh, what the? Damn, that was.
And just like that, the book is gone. My heart dropped because I thought this Watchdog protocol had taken the book or something. But after a little bit, the book returns.
Are they invisible to each other? Same world, different planes of it. Is that what's going on?
Cash opens it and it reads, "You are what to watch over the server? Your typing is weird." It seems that when this person reads our text, it also has the weird X's. So Cash responds, "Someone hired me to watch over the server. I'm getting paid to log on and play." And then asks,
Wait, we're getting
again,
paid?
"Who are you?" He puts the book back, and then after a bit, we get a response that says, "I don't trust this. Leave me alone." Cash tries to write back saying he's just as confused as they are, but after waiting a while, it's clear that this person has fully gone and isn't responding. He leaves the book there, but goes and tries to figure out some more information on anywhere this person could have gone. But this opens an interesting thing because typically in Minecraft, there's always some sort of tell for where a person is. If they've got invisibility potions, you
bubbles.
see the bubbles.
Oh.
Even if you use a command to get rid of the bubbles, you can see ground particles. But in all of these shots where the player should be here, there is nothing you can see of them. It is literally as though they are a ghost on this
Ooh,
world.
maybe it is
Cash
ghost.
looking
Maybe it's
around
ghosts.
in one of the other houses when he suddenly comes across a very well hidden barrel, and it has a book.
Maybe he saw the ghost outside his window. in real life. Maybe it's a ghost ARG.
look inside. Now, unfortunately, it's unsigned.
Another one.
However, it does have some very interesting text.
I know he's real. I hear him behind me all the time. I can feel his eyes watching me. No one ever believes me, but I know it's real.
Another classic, oh, someone's watching me trope. I'm bored. Can I play Candy Crush on your phone? Anyway,
Like I said, this Zach as a narrator is so unserious, and it's honestly the funniest shit ever.
as Cash looks around, he sees a weirdly placed button, and upon pressing
about the
it,
button up
actually
there?
opens a secret door. But right as he goes down it, his game crashes.
crash?
A message pops up from him saying that this is pretty typical for his PC, and eventually he logs back in. And when he does, Cash tells us,
I gave my friend the server IP so he could log on and check this out with me. But when he tried to get on, it said he wasn't whitelisted. But I never sent that email, my gamertag.
Oh, what the?
oh boy. So for those who don't know, whitelisting on Minecraft basically lets only select gamer tags to be allowed on to a Minecraft server. But you need to know their gamer tag in order to do this. And according to Cash, he never sent these people his gamer tag. But somehow his player was whitelisted. This just confuses me further because the only person we've talked to on this server has no idea who Cash is. So they certainly wouldn't have whitelisted him to the server, right? And this world was
Yeah.
also very clearly griefed. So if it had a whitelist the whole time, that
didn't
wouldn't
work out well.
happen. Anyway, Cash makes his way back over to where he was and drops back down into just the tunnels again. But
Oh, there's
we
an
see
open.
a very quick glimpse of like a passageway opening, and he makes his way over to it and tries to find whatever button or trigger just opened it, but there's nothing around. But Cash is actually a genius, and he tells us to hold on because he has an idea. And he comes back and shows us that he's downloaded an X-ray shader pack. He's
Okay,
realized that
buddy.
if this is another redstone door, he can try to figure out
That
where
is
it's
smart,
located
yep.
and what's the input to it is. And when he takes a look, we can see that there's a skulk sensor that seems to be what opens this door. But Cash, for the life of him, cannot trigger it. There's nothing I can see that says why this wouldn't work, and clearly someone just triggered the skulk sensor because the door opened.
Yeah.
But eventually Cash just takes a break from his computer, and we see the screen go black again, and
he
Cash
crash again?
basically explains that he saw something
Oh.
outside his window again, and he went to take a picture of it, and he shows it to us, and it is corrupted.
Oh hell no! That is a.
Cash puts up some arrows.
does
of, like,
seem
what
like a
we're
Wendigo,
supposed to be looking
whatever
at, but the
those things are
weirdest thing
called.
about this all to me is Cash never acknowledges that the image is corrupted. Cash says there are often a lot
Ew.
of deer in his yard, so he just went back to playing. He is truly just walking down this hallway, and I don't know about y'all, but
Oh, what the? Damn, fast reflexes.
Cash's reflexes are insane. You can hear the skulk sensor go off, the door opens, and he's just barely able to make it inside.
He
before
gets
it shuts
in there. Damn.
But inside where exactly?
Fast
Cash
as
turns
hell.
around and is in this
Ew.
massive room of
Ooh.
sorts. There's two sets of books at the end, and when Cash opens them, we are met with
Is
this
how-
monstrosity. And there are several like
what?
pages of these inside of the different books. Now, luckily, Cash shows it all to us, so I can give you a breakdown. Let's take a look at this first
Break it down
page,
for us.
right? We can see that aside from all this gibberish, there seems to be a lot of X's in here. Now,
Yeah,
the
yes.
X's are all over this server, so I think that this is so confusing because it's like two different encoding methods on top of each other. So I'm going to ignore the X's and try to figure out what the original encoding process is. X's aside, all of these words end in OW, and now this rung a bell, but I didn't know why. And after some Googling, I realized it's because this is basically how Pig Latin works. In
Yep.
Pig Latin, you take a word, you rip off the first consonants, and you put it at the end, and
Yeah.
then you add AY. I remember this because back in like grade school, kids would like make their own languages by just changing the AY to something else, and it would sound like a pretty distinct language. And in this case, they seem to have chosen OW as the ending sound. So if you take this text, remove all the ows, we're actually closer to legible text. Then all we have to do is move any consonants from the end to the front. However, with so many X's in the mix, it makes it really hard to know when there's a consonant or not. So to the best of my knowledge, what this says is, this is a basic sentence, so you can practice the new code.
Oh.
Remember that the code word is ow. I'm a way, iterale, genius gay.
Gay. Yep.
I'm a genius. Let's look at another page, shall we? If we remove the ows, shift consonants to the front, and fix the X's that are obvious, we read, do you actually believe him? I think he's a hacker that somehow keeps finding us or something. Now, upon initially reading this, I thought whoever is talking here was talking about Cash. It speaks about whether or not they want to
Bonnie.
believe him and how he keeps finding us. But this text is towards the beginning of the first book. So this maybe took place a while ago. And I think this because there's a page on the other book that reads like this. Hey, I just spoke with someone who seemed to be the same person who wrote on the signs. Says his name is Cash, something something, was hired to watch over the server. If he's playing a trick on us, it's a weird trick to play. I don't know. Basically, this person is talking about Cash.
Okay,
And this is clearly whoever spoke with Cash prior. It literally mentions it by name. But this leaves into question who the book was talking about prior. It talks about he again, and that he keeps finding us. Now, to me, that could mean maybe they're hiding from like a stalker almost that keeps getting into their server.
Ew, the
Going back
eyes
to
in the
Cash on
back.
the server, he gets kicked off pretty soon after, and it's clear that someone doesn't want him in there because when he logs on for his next shift, he is told that his location will be reset every minute. What does that
Damn,
mean?
motherfucker can't even walk
basically,
around?
As he's wandering around, after a minute goes by, he is just teleported.
Oh,
back to the
wow.
start. And Cash tries to continue looking around for new information or anyone to talk to, but with his location getting reset
Yeah.
so often, he gives up and says that he's just gonna sit here and get paid, which is fair. And
Yeah,
it's at that
very
point
fair.
that we see editor Cash come on back and says that he fell asleep while just sitting there on the server, which
Lock in,
adds up.
twin.
This man has stayed up so late, so many nights. But he tells us that when he looked back at the footage, he saw this happen.
What's is there a bubble? Oh, what the? Ew, that's
Cash says
actually
that he'll
oddly
check
creepy.
That chest next time he logs on. But come on, is it ever that easy? Because Cash logs on again.
What? Ooh, the thumbnail. Ugh. I don't like how it fades into the darkness like that. Creepy. Is he at the house yet? Oh, we're getting there. Pretty nice house. Give my boy some food.
Did you see that? When Cash walked inside, the textures all seemed to change. And when he walks back out, right back to normal. It's clear Cash notices this, but all he has to say when he walks back out, right back to normal. It's clear it's all seemed.
What textures?
Did you?
Oh, it goes like to the old
Walks back
textures,
out,
the old Minecraft
right back to
textures.
normal. It's clear Cash notices this, but all he has to say on the matter is wild, and then he continues to
Wild.
look around this house. For once, the chests
there's
actually
actually
have
stuff in
items,
here.
not some distorted, glitchy version of items. And there's furnaces, there's a bed. It truly seems to be a normal house. However, when he gets to this top floor, he's looking through chests and sees
Check
a
that painting.
And when he checks it, there's a
Yeah,
secret
there we go.
room behind it,
Ooh.
covered in signs that seem to be like a journal of sorts. It's the first time we've seen signs that don't have X's all over them, and they read,
They promised me that I won't be left out again. They went to fight the dragon without me. They said they thought I wasn't online. Swear I didn't show up in the tab menu. Yeah, right.
Cash mentions that he had people not showing up the tab menu earlier.
They helped me build my base some more.
Oh.
They just feel bad for me. I'm tired. Barely anyone is playing anymore. I don't know why I keep playing.
This is interesting, but also a little too on the nose. I feel as though we've seen so much information get distorted that the fact that that isn't makes me not want to trust it. But essentially what's happening here Was this?
That was not there earlier.
Right?
How?
The answer, of course, is no. But Cash makes his way down this staircase, and we are met with signs in just all caps, screaming at us more or less, and we even have our X's that seem to have returned. I'll let you pause if you want to read any of this. It's mostly...
It's so quiet now. Why is it so empty and quiet? I can't even play anymore. I'm stuck watching. I have to make myself known. Am I still supposed to be here or not? They can't see me. I'm standing right here. Everyone will know I'm watching them. Oh? Is it like... Okay, let's assume there's two people on a server. There's three people on a server. One of them is sort of being left out, kinda, sort of ish, and now that person's gone fully invisible, and now they're like trying to like make themselves known by like messing with the world. Maybe that's why like the first starting area was so like messed up. That sounds reasonable.
generic ooky spooky stuff, but the scary thing is...
Oh God. Ooh. Oh God. Okay. Don't jump scare me. Nah, it's not gonna be jump scare. It hasn't been. There hasn't been one jump scare yet in these ARGs. Calm down.
This is the first time on this server.
What
that we have
door
heard
got open? Because
movement of
those are all
players.
closed
The
still.
weird thing is, we heard a door open, but all of the doors
Yeah.
are exactly how Cash left them prior. Cash goes to return to that basement area and is immediately clocked out. This was a lot of information, and I want you to tuck
A lot of
everything you
creepy
just saw
information.
in the back of your mind as I go into what comes next. Cash posted on his community tab that he was able to get onto the normal server again and check that chest before he was immediately clocked out. But he took 2 screenshots of the 2 pages, and they look like this. We read, "I'm going out on a limb and trusting you are who you say you are. But to be safe, you gotta solve this. The answer is right in front of you, then right." And on the next page, we see multiple of like a link that's been jumbled, and whoever did this is very smart because they pasted it several times to account for the X glitch. I tried some basic ciphers online before I decided to use that big old juicy brain.
What
I got
URL
upstairs,
link is it gonna
and
be?
I realized ciphers online
'Cause-
before I had times to account.
/ I could definitely see this being some sort of URL. What's it gonna be?
I tried some basic ciphers online.
See the
before I
slash and the
decided to
random
use that
things at the
big old
end?
juicy
Those are
brain I
definitely
got
URL.
upstairs, and I realized that in front of Cash, presumably, all the time,
Why did I
is
point to my
a
monitor like you
keyboard.
can see that?
So this is probably just a keyboard cipher where you take your keyboard and you shift all the letters one way or another. So if you do that with our lovely gibberish here, we get a YouTube link
I
to
knew
an
that.
unlisted video
I knew it.
that is just a black screen, but with this audio.
It's honestly so stupid that I'm even doing this, but just in case you're a real person, somehow you should know what's going on. This is a Minecraft server where my friends and I play Minecraft on, and it's just normal until we started getting harassed by this guy, and he kept making his way onto our server
Okay.
to the point where we got a new one.
That threw my
On
theory
that
out the window.
one, but no matter what we do, he won't leave us alone. Joe, one of my friends, thinks it's a literal ghost because we
I thought it was a ghost.
IP, but it didn't stop him. Basically, around the time it started, one of my friends, this whole thing, he convinced us that there's this thing called the God Watcher or something. It was just a Bloody Mary knockoff.
Bloody
Said the
Mary.
name
Oh
3
God.
times, it would come, yada yada.
Oh, sorry. Oop.
You're not even gonna find this thing.
This is quite the interesting story, but I
Yeah.
agree with whoever's speaking.
God
here.
wa-
Odds are this God Watcher thing was just a prank
Watchdog.
made up by a friend. Why are the letters moving? Oh my God, guys!
Oh
no
my
way!
God.
Sorry, I'll take this seriously. Basically, the God Watcher.
No, that's the thumbnail.
Watcher is a entity that is on the Minecraft Entities Wiki, and it says the God Watcher is an urban myth long lost to Minecraft versions gone by. It is rumored to be a spirit that chose to live in the digital world of Minecraft.
Never heard of it.
Pass on to the next life. The God Watcher implores the player to say its name 3 times while placing a poppy each time. This not only grants the God Watcher into your world, but also ties it to your player so that wherever you go, it may follow. However, there's a part that talks about the different things that this entity will do to players, and the one that stands out the most is how it says the most consistent occurrence is an increase in coal generation
That's
on every
random.
world the player joins. Earlier in these videos, I had noticed that in these tunnels, there was an impressive amount
Oh,
of coal
wow,
on the
really?
walls, especially since if it were me, I would have mined all of that to get some torches or something. But
There's a
now
lot of
I'm
coal.
starting to think that coal is there for a very different reason. And judging by the fact that this article talks about how it torments people and makes them see things that aren't there, I'm a bit worried about the future of our lovely
Oh
Cash.
wow, why does it look
The
so
next
bad?
video isn't Cash logging onto the server, but instead it's him talking in a Google Doc with someone, and it appears
Anonymous
to be that
dinosaur.
same mystery person who created that video. Based off the channel name before, I'm gonna call this person Riley, and Riley says that she's still really paranoid, and Cash says that's fine. I think you have a reason to be. Cash re-explains everything we know about this whole getting hired thing, but actually does mention that he has gotten paid from these people, that they sent him like $42. Cash asks Riley to tell him more about this whole
Good
God
money.
Watcher thing. And before Riley can respond, a notification pops up for Cash of a Ring doorbell. I don't know if this is important,
Nah.
but I'm legally obligated to tell you about it, so
What do you mean you're legally obligated to tell me about what? Huh? Okay.
there it is. Riley once again pushes off the God Watcher thing, saying it was just a thing that her old friends made up on their first SMP, and Cash asks if they still have that server. And Riley says that they actually do. Cash logs on to this very distorted Minecraft
Oh,
server. The last
Lord.
server doesn't even hold a torch to this one. when it
floor
comes to
just
level
doesn't exist.
messed Up. And Cash is literally just looking around this server, checking chests, and trying to find anything of you.
What is this, Jigsaw? What is it, Saw? Ugh, hell no. Ew. I'd rather not. Don't go in there. God damn it, what is up with these MCs and being stupid? Oh, there's the horn. What? What? Like, it doesn't see the coal. Is that a player? Ew. Ew. Wait. They're making the guy with the Bonnie skin play like a Five Nights at Freddy's type thing. Oh. Oh, oh. Why am I getting... Oh, there goes the lights. Oh god, it got closer. Get the horn, my boy. Ooh. Oh god, why? Ooh. Yeah, get away. Shoot. Wait a minute. Does that mean someone was playing this type of game in the beginning of the beginning of the video? Because we heard the horn, like it sounded the same. So was someone in that world playing this thing? Oh, there they go. Bye.
Now, whatever that was, I certainly didn't enjoy it, but it seems to be morning. And Cash actually goes back to that document he was talking to Riley on. And Riley says, I forgot the last time I played on this server was on my old account, so neither of us are whitelisted and can't get on. And Cash says, I was able to get on. I don't understand how this keeps happening. Cash is somehow once again whitelisted for a server he shouldn't be on. Cash goes back to playing on the server,
I wouldn't.
exploring his way around, and he makes his way down one of the tunnels and finds this room, I guess, that didn't seem to be there before. And upon going inside, we see
Oh, there's 3.
an area that has 3 spots and 3 poppies.
Don't do
Cash
the
pulls
watch-
out
the
document
God
again,
Watcher
and we can
challenge
see
thing.
that Riley is just going crazy.
What's going on?
Cash. No. Bad Cash. No. Please. Oh, one of these days there's gonna be a jump scare and I'm gonna punch my monitor. Okay, nothing.
Cash's next video is him playing on a seemingly brand new server when suddenly Riley joins. Cash walks over to her and says, hey, to which she says, Cash replies and says it's because he took care of the whole God Watcher thing.
What? How?
Cash says, well, you said it was tied to your friend's Minecraft account, right? Cash says, well, I moved it to mine.
What? Why would...
And Cash
How does
says
that-
because all he had to do was deactivate his account and
Oh.
get a new one. And I didn't notice
Oh.
before, but his gamer tag has changed from cashing checks to
Checks
cashed.
cashed.
Cash goes on to explain that the quote God Watcher took care of the bill. Apparently, $42 is just enough for a new Minecraft account and a large pizza.
Good for him. What? 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 Oh, what the? What's that? What? Ew.
It was no coincidence that Cash was in the same time zone as the people who played on this server. He was one of the people that played on this server.
What?
That's why he was whitelisted on every server he joined. He wasn't the next person the God Watcher would torment. He was the current. It somehow convinced him that he was a whole other person trying to solve this mysterious server. All to remember just how wrong he was.
Wait, so is there more to the video?
The next day after
Okay.
this video was posted, Cash's profile picture changed to this image. And since I've edited this video, I went back to Riley's channel, and at some point, it was also changed to that same image. I have not been able to get into contact with either of them.
Wait, then, okay, so was Riley ever a real person, or was that God Watcher the entire time, or did they like take over at the end? And if it was God Watcher, and then who was the one writing the book that Cash would like put in the bookshelf and then like take out? Was he just talking to God Watcher the entire time, or was Riley actually like a real person? And what was the weird in between world thing? Oh wow, that was. I would definitely like to know a little bit more about that, but I guess we'll never know. At least until I don't know. Maybe Zach will tell us more in the future. Who knows? But I that was nice. I like that. Yeah. It's funny how he made it was like Bonnie playing Five Nights at Freddy's at one point. Like, yeah, that was funny. But I enjoyed that, and hopefully you enjoyed it too, and enjoyed this video. To leave a like and subscribe, and remember, link in the description to the original video. Always check. I can't speak. Remember to go and like the original video. And I'll see you guys next time. Yeah, that's about it. My intros are pretty bad as always, but whatever. Goodbye.